Let me ask you this. What does equality really mean in America? Is it just a word we celebrate? Or is it a promise we are committed to keeping? President Biden's announcement that the Equal Rights Amendment, ERA, is now ratified as the 28th Amendment to the Constitution challenges us to think hard about those questions. It's a historic moment, but it's also a moment that raises tough legal and political questions, and it's bound to ignite fierce debate. For those who aren't familiar, the ERA was first passed by Congress in 1972, with a simple, powerful goal: to enshrine equal rights for all Americans, regardless of sex, into the Constitution. It's been a long, uphill fight since then, marked by decades of stagnation. To amend the Constitution, 3/4 of states, 38 in total, must ratify the amendment. That finally happened in 2020, when Virginia became the 38th state to join the cause. Yet because the original ratification deadline expired decades ago, and with 5 states having since rescinded their approval, legal experts and historians have questioned whether the ERA can still be considered valid. And that's where President Biden stepped in, saying, "It is long past time to recognize the will of the American people." His statement isn't just symbolic. It's a firm stance that the ERA is already the law of the land, and that equality for women, and by extension for everyone, is no longer up for debate. Biden is leaning on the argument that the original ERA text didn't include a time limit, and that the Constitution doesn't allow states to undo their ratifications. He's drawing support from leading legal scholars and groups like the American Bar Association, who agree with this interpretation. But let's be real. This isn't the end of the fight. It's the beginning of a new one. Courts will now have to decide whether Biden's position holds legal weight. The Archivist of the United States, who is responsible for officially certifying constitutional amendments, has said the ERA can't be published because of the expired deadlines and rescinded ratifications. Critics, especially on the conservative side, argue that Biden's move is an overreach, one that may ultimately be overturned by legal challenges or by the incoming administration. Still, this announcement has sparked a wave of hope, especially for advocates of reproductive rights, gender equality, and social justice. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand has championed the ERA as a way to codify women's rights without relying on a bitterly divided Congress. And let's face it, the need for equal rights has only become more urgent after the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, leaving millions of women without federal protections for their reproductive choices. The stakes couldn't be higher. Beyond its immediate legal and political implications, the ERA represents something much larger. A vision of America where equality isn't just aspirational, it's guaranteed. It sends a clear message to future generations that discrimination based on sex has no place in our laws or our lives. But let's not pretend this will be easy. The next administration could roll back Biden's actions, much like he rolled back Trump's. And legal battles could drag on for years, leaving the ERA's fate uncertain. But here's the thing about progress. It's messy, it's slow, and it's often met with resistance. Yet history shows us that progress is worth fighting for, even when the odds seem stacked against it. So, as we look at this pivotal moment, let's remember that the 28th Amendment isn't just about laws. It's about values. It's about the kind of nation we want to be. President Biden's declaration may not be the final word, but it's a powerful step forward. And it challenges all of us to keep pushing, to make sure that the words equal rights under the law aren't just written in the Constitution, but lived out in our daily lives.